So I knew I was going to say this sometime, although I didn't think it would be as soon as now, but I think, actually, I know it's time for us to have another zombies game. I think it's definitely time now, and a telltale sign of that is I've seen quite a few people starting to get desperate. But just before I carry on, today's video is sponsored by Opera GX. Opera GX is a special version of the Opera browser, which is built specifically for gamers, which to me is just one of the many reasons why this is the best browser available. But let me show you why I believe it is. It includes so many different cool and unique features, one of them being GX profiles. This lets you create your own custom browser suited perfectly for any activity online. Create custom profiles and focus on what's really important. Let's say you want to stream, well, no more accidentally showing your private stuff to your viewers. All you've got to do is click the settings icon right here, go to manage GX profiles, create a new profile. Let's say you want to stream, well, no more accidentally showing your private stuff to your viewers. Simply set your configuration to streaming, choose an icon color, name your browser, click add new profile, and you will see it is then added to your taskbar. Or maybe your PC isn't running smoothly anymore. Well, no stress. With GX profiles, you can create a browsing profile in the most basic form. So for this one, I'm going to set my configuration to potato, choose a different color icon, add new profile, and again, you can see in the taskbar, my new custom browser has now been added, and it's simply accessible from there. But of course, that's just one of the many features that this browser includes. There's also the hot tabs killer, which allows users to identify the most resource draining tabs and then close them to make sure that the browser doesn't overburden your PC or laptop. I have two different tabs open. Right now, Twitch has taken up most of my CPU, so simply I'm going to close that, and my PC is going to run a lot smoother. One of the most useful features for me, especially for my eyes, is the fact that you can force dark pages. Maybe you're tired of friendly fire from your own browser. Well, fear not. With Opera GX, you can force dark mode on every page that you browse. So forget about the flashy white colors that hurt your eyes. You can actually enjoy the calm, dark experience on every page that you have. Simply click this icon up at the top right, scroll down to the features section, enable dark pages, and as you can see, my browsing page has just turned from light to dark, which is so much better for me to look at. And yet another feature that is super helpful is GX Corner. It allows you to stay up to date with free games, the best deals, the newest releases, and breaking game news all in one easily accessible place. You can easily switch between platforms and also see the upcoming games in the release calendar. So if I just scroll down, you have everything here, everything that I want to see. There's a huge selection and it's all right there. And of course, Opera GX is also available on mobile called GX Mobile, and it can be connected to your desktop version. So there we go ahead and download Opera GX for both your desktop and your mobile. This is a browser that you 100% must have. It is without a doubt the best one out there. You can get it for free simply by clicking the link you can find in the description or by scanning the QR code that you've seen up on screen. So there we go, and thank you to Opera GX for sponsoring today's video. So as I was saying, I've seen a few people say things that they usually wouldn't say, things that you wouldn't want in zombies, but because we are so desperate for something, we don't care anymore, we just want another zombies game. The last one we had was Vanguard Zombies, which was about a year and a half ago now, and that wasn't a very good game, to be honest. I didn't really play it. I probably played each map, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, besides from Shi No Numa, which was a lot better. So I didn't really play Vanguard Zombies. The one before that was Cold War. I did play that a lot. It wasn't my favourite zombies game, but it was still COD Zombies. So you could say, disregarding Vanguard, Cold War was the last zombies game that we had, and that came out in 2020, about 2.5 years ago. Anyway, as I was saying, we haven't had a zombies game for a long time, 2.5 years if you want to count Cold War being the last proper one, which I just forget Vanguard even existed. When you think about it, that actually would be a pretty normal time span between zombies games. Since we have 3 different developers now, that means we have to wait 3 years in between Treyarch's games, or 2 years if you want to go from the end of one to the start of one, from when we get DLC 4 to the next game. So 2 years is the normal time we have to wait for Treyarch Zombies games. It's now been 2.5 years if we're going from Cold War, or 1.5 years since we've last had anything from zombies. It just feels like now we are kind of reaching our limit, and we're not really anywhere close to the next game yet, because this year we're having Sledgehammer's Modern Warfare 2 2.0. Treyarch's next game isn't coming out until 2024. I'll be honest, man, I don't know if I can do this. I'm finding myself right now talking about, real life playing games. I do play games sometimes, where I'm kind of struggling to find something to play. If you've been watching this channel for a long time, you'll know I've always said I'm a story person, so I play story-driven games, campaigns. I don't really play multiplayer games anymore. I haven't for a long time, not religiously anyway. The only online game I play often is Rocket League. but Call of Duty MP I don't play. I don't play Battlefield or Overwatch. Any MP game, I just play games for their storyline, and of course, that only comes around every so often. Campaign games are very rare, especially really good ones. By the time this video comes out, I am probably playing Jedi Survivor. I'm guessing that's going to last me a couple of weeks. The game I played for the campaign before that was Hogwarts Legacy. That lasted a couple of weeks. Before that was Dead Space. That was maybe a week. And then before that was Ragnarok, which was probably a month of playing. We've actually been quite lucky as of late with story games. Normally it's not like this. You have to wait months, sometimes for the story games I like playing. If I'm lucky, I get maybe 2 or 3 a year. And if they last a couple of weeks to a month of playing, then I'm left waiting 4 or 5 months of not really playing anything. And COD Zombies was always a good game to fill in that gap. It was always something that you could just play when you're bored. That summarizes COD Zombies. It's never really been the deepest game in terms of gameplay. There's a storyline there, but it's not a story game where you go through campaign missions. It's just one map. I've always found that since I stopped playing MP games, COD Zombies has always been a good filler, and the content that we usually get in games normally does last me until the next one. What we had in BO3, especially with Zombies Chronicles, lasted me until BO4. I was more than happy. I was occupied. I had stuff to do. The content that we had in BO4 lasted me until Cold War. The content that we had in Cold War, for the most part, lasted until Vanguard. There was a month or two towards the end where it was a bit boring. It's the same with the gap between BO1 and 2, BO2 and 3. But now going from Call of Duty Vanguard to the next game, because Vanguard was totally dead even when that game was alive, it was something I didn't want to play. This might be the hardest period ever for me, not really having anything to play. And it's difficult because COD Zombies has always been that one game that I could play in the dry periods of not having any other games. So I'm starting to get a little bit desperate, and I've seen a lot of people over on YouTube, Twitter, the videos that people are making or the tweets that people are putting out, the Reddit posts. You can tell when words, tweets, content, YouTube videos, whatever are recycled over and over again, that people are struggling to find things to do. That's the same with anything in life. I mean, me making YouTube videos, I have first-hand experience of that. Unfortunately, you, the viewers, have to suffer. I'm really sorry. I'm trying my best, okay? I can't magic things out of thin air. But the whole reason I made this video is because I saw someone say, I can't remember who this was, but they said they want Gobblegums back in the next game. Initially when I saw this, I thought, are we really that desperate for any new COD Zombies content that we want what were essentially microtransactions back in Zombies? Even though we had bundles and stuff in Cold War, we didn't really see anything similar to elixirs that we had in BO4 or Gobblegums that we had in BO3. I know that Gobblegums were loved. I didn't use them just because I don't like buying microtransactions in games. At least they weren't pay to win, because you're not exactly competing against other people. Maybe if you're doing world records and Gobblegums are allowed to be used, then it could be classed as pay to win, but still Zombies isn't really a multiplayer game where you're playing against random people. Maybe a lot of people just want some type of Gobblegum system back, or are people really just that desperate for any new Zombies content that you take anything at this point? I don't know, but yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So there we go. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video today. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.